Mark Crossfield here. Today I'm going to hit the Benross HTX Driver. Quite looking forward to this actually. I've not really hit any Benross for a long time. This one is kind of their most affordable model. Got 10.5, only comes in 10.5 and 12. I've got some real ball datas coming at you with my Callaway Chrome Softs and GC2 as well. Let's see what HTX from Benross could offer you guys and girls. Let's get stuck in. So we've got the Benross HTX Driver. Down by the ball looks quite nice, to be honest. It reminds me almost a bit of a ping with the old G ranges, like the G10 and those kind of ranges with that little line on top. Now looking at 10.5 degrees of loft for me is a lot of loft. This model only comes in 2 lofts. There's no adjustability. This is all built around affordability. So if you think about it, if I'm designing a club and I take away screws and mechanisms in the neck, don't give a variation of lofts, I can keep my production costs down and give you and guys and girls what looks like a pretty good driver for hopefully an affordable price, which is what they're trying to do with this club. So if you're watching this video trying to think if we've got the best max out club for me, probably watch the other ones where we can move the loft around and that, because there is another model. I think it's a HTX Type R, which we'll come to. So you get CT precision channel, they're calling this on the bottom, which I imagine is there to keep ball speeds up across the face. We get a low back center of gravity. It's very, very friendly in everything it offers. 460 head. Grey to blackish top line, very pretty on the top, black face. All come with pretty, this is a Kurocade shaft, they all come with kind of top of the range shafts as well, these clubs. Let's give it a hit and see what it feels like. We will show you the numbers shortly. I can't imagine this is going to produce the numbers I need because the loft just isn't where it needs to be, but we'll look at that. Let's give it a hit. So it makes pretty loud ting off the face, as I'd expect. It's going far too high for me. It looks like it's spinning a lot, which we'll look at. Because this club for me, well, I would never game this kind of loft. And there lies your little bit of your conundrum when it comes to going into this price point. I think Benross are going to be very public in saying this is a club for a price point as good as you can get it. It's kind of what they're going with. For me, this club is lacking because I can't get the loft where I need it to be. I'm going to have to start manipulating it. But I know what I want. If you're not playing golf because you can't afford the £300 plus drivers, or you're not using a driver because you can't buy one, hitting this slightly too high with a bit too much spin is going to be better than not hitting a driver at all. So it does feel, for me, a good bracket for some people who just want some equipment to go out and play with. They don't want it to be perfectly spec'd up to them, they just want something affordable. And as it goes, this club looks as good as anything for the price point. I mean, that is just going into orbit. Whoa, into a bit of wind as well. I'm going to give it one more hit and then we'll look at the numbers. Looks good, feels good, it's at a very reasonable price, but for me, it's not going to tick the boxes that I need it to tick, which I'm making sure I'm getting the most out of my ball flight. But for some people, the biggest box that needs ticking is that affordability one. And I reckon this one's going to do it. And look, push comes to shove, hit that one nicely. If I had to game this, I could keep that ball flight different. I just have to change my technique. I could move it. And again, there lies a little bit of a danger. If you're buying a club only on cost, that's great because it gets you playing. But then if you're having to manipulate your technique to get the most out of it, is that the best thing to do? So it's always that balance between getting the top manufacturers, if you like, where you get all the fitting kind of capabilities you like. You'll get it in more pro shops, which maybe you won't see this around as much. Get it online and those kind of things. Not sure you can even buy this online. To then just getting one that you can afford. It's that balance, isn't it? Let's look at the numbers and see what kind of numbers I'm getting out of a 10.5 loft. Numbers time, 10.5 loft, so it's spinning at 3.2. Spin is far too high, which it is going to be for me with that loft. You've got to remember it only comes in that loft and a higher loft, and you can't change it because it's built to that price point. Carrying at 237, topping out at 243, exactly what I would expect from that loft for those spins. Peaking height you see at 41, much higher than I would normally peak height a driver. I would get that driver if I only had that amount of money to buy on a driver. All day long. I wouldn't not go without a driver because it's a club I enjoy hitting, and that is going to go further than my 3-wood. And certainly if again you can't afford a 3-wood and you want a driver, this one's going to be one for you. The numbers are decent for what it is. The only thing that you're going to struggle with a company like Benross is how you're going to get the customability that you want. That model you're not. So are you going to wait and save and get the one you can get fully fitted? Or, like I keep saying, if it's going to stop you getting a driver, don't do that. This one is going to be as good as you can get, in my opinion, at that price point. The numbers are where I'd expect them. Too much spin because it's too much loft, a little bit shorter because it's spinning too much and launching a fraction high. Ball speeds for the loft delivered pretty good. It's a decent, honest driver for that price point. It really is. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, all the normal social places. Also, come and visit my new website, markcrossfieldgolf.com. See you over there.